Oh, I'm all right.
It looks like there may be a deal in the works that could remove the election reform bill from the ballot this fall. Is that something you'd like to see happen?
Yeah, I encouraged it to go back to the table and try to work things out, come up with a little better product, but it's the decision of the leaders of the legislature to do that, and so I think it's an important thing. I mean, I think it's possible for us to come up with a good election reform package, but let's maybe sit down one more time, let them sit down one more time and listen to what people have to say. It's not an issue that I was intimately involved with, but I think it's the leaders of the legislature that said, let's take another crack at it, and I think that's good.
It seems to have gotten embroiled into the presidential politics. Do you think this being on the ballot helps one candidate over another?
Well, if they're going to repeal this, I don't know why it would be on the ballot.
But
well, I mean,
there's still always the possibility it could still be on the ballot.
Well, for what purpose then? If the law is repealed, why would you put it on the ballot? Try to use it as a political leverage? I mean, that's not a good thing.
I want to ask you about something related to the community college issue. Gordon Gee has proposed this differential tuition, different tuitions for different majors. Are you familiar with that at all?
No, but I would say that our universities need to take a more business-like approach to the way they operate. They're a business. They have customers, which are namely students, and they need to respond to them. Higher education is in need of great reform. We've started with the capital bill, but there's a heck of a lot of other things that need to be done. And any talk about different ways of doing things just makes some sense to me. I'm not familiar with the package, but Gordon trying to be innovative should be encouraged.
Governor Romney's coming tomorrow, and you're going to be with him. What are some items that you are going to touch on tomorrow?
Well, I'm going to talk about the fact that we're now creating jobs in the state of Ohio that are exciting for young people, that they don't need to go to Austin or go to Boston or go to the Silicon Valley. They can stay right here in Ohio. And everybody's concerned about the cost of college tuition between construction reform and trying to create a third-year degree and getting universities to act together like they did on the capital bill, or get them to not run duplicate proliferation of academic programs and drive up costs. These are all things that we need to think about. But the most important message to a lot of these young people is they're getting out. They want to have a job, and they want something that's cool. And it's starting to happen in our state. We don't have it all fixed, but Toledo Blade wrote a front page headline yesterday that joblessness falls across the state. That was like fantastic. I wasn't sure which newspaper wrote that. I had to look a couple times, but no, I'm just kidding. Just a joke. All right.
Some of your Republican colleagues like to weigh in on this one. Do you have any thoughts on who should join Romney at the bottom of the ticket?
No. If I were the nominee for president, I'd have at least 100 people I'd suggest in all 50, two from all 50 states.
Governor, the main portion of the MBR got through the House yesterday.
Yeah.
Is there any concerns that you have with some of the changes that they may have made along the process? Or
Well, I'm concerned about some of the spending, and we'll see. We've got a long way to go, but I was really encouraged that it passed, pretty well intact. I'm really happy about that. Dangerous and Wild Animals passed yesterday. I think it was like 32-1, which was just fantastic. It was a good day for the overall Republican agenda.
Is there anything in particular that concerned you with anything that got changed in that main MBR bill that you can think of?
Well, I mean, my biggest concern is spending. We just dug ourselves out of an $8 billion hole, and we see some rays of sun bursting through the clouds, and we want to go and spend. I mean, I just can't even conceptualize or imagine why anybody would try to spend $400 million and stick us right back in the hole again. Fortunately, that was defeated. It was way out of. I mean, it just didn't carry any weight. But look, we are getting in. The MBR was designed for reform. There's some appropriate amount of spending that's legitimate for things that potentially a crisis, like for example what we're trying to do with mental health. But we don't want to just be throwing money around and thinking, well, we got a few dollars in our pocket, let's just spend it. That's not a wise thing for Ohio. And I have to also tell you, anybody that thinks that this economy is a lock I don't know what they're thinking. I mean, you got Europe on the verge of collapse. you have a very anemic recovery in this country. You've got to be very, very careful about what you do right now.
Can you tell us a little bit about the pilot program in Cincinnati with the community colleges and the business?
Well, they had a meeting. Rich Frederick ran the meeting along with Don and Ben Kanzik, and there is a passionate acceptance of our ideas in regard to integrating business and academics. We have all these job openings, but we don't have the qualified people. And that is because the business community has not ever realized that a government program can help them. Like, why do I need to tell the government what I need? That's a joke. So we have to convince them that we are here to help. We're here to get them the qualified workers. They need to participate. They need to do some level of forecasting. And I have to tell you, if we get this going, it's going to be a huge, huge plus. And I'm happy with the first meeting they had in Cincinnati. I've spoken to a couple of the participants. And now there are other regions of the state that are asking us to go there next to start this process. And we'll get there when we feel confident that we've got the kind of traction we want in Cincinnati. But I feel pretty good about things at this point.
Is it community colleges, or is
everybody
UC there and Xavier?
Yeah,
and all those
UC.
guys?
Xavier wasn't there, so we're going to find out why they weren't there. But no, we had UC, we had the Chamber, we had people from the what's the CBC? That's the smaller business group like Columbus 2020 or the Partnership. We have all the people we need to have there in order to have success, and a lot of the business community. So if it works there, you know, we have to look at Dayton, we have to look at Youngstown. I mean, aligning people to what's needed is really, really important. Did that press release come out of the Cincinnati Chamber? Okay. Well, I'm also pleased to say that you know, we received another endorsement by a business group on the severance tax, which is the Cincinnati Chamber. They deserve a lot of credit, recognizing the fact that lowering that income tax is really, really important to us, and it's a really terrific move by the Cincinnati Chamber. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Governor.
Thanks.